Hello, and welcome to part 5 of Twin 1 of the Red 10 Twins 45 RPM vinyl records box that I bought. And if I don't chit chat too much, we might finish this first one up in this video. So here we got Ben by Michael Jackson, which was the theme song to the 1972 film Ben, which was about a mouse or a rat or whatever you want to call it. There was Ben and there was Willard, and Michael Jackson did the theme song for the first one. You Can Cry on My Shoulder being the B-side of that. Don't know if that was from Ben or not. Surprisingly, neither Ben nor the original Willard has came out on DVD. The remake of Willard with the guy that played Michael J. Fox's dad in Back to the Future, can't think of his name right now, playing the guy who made friends with Willard. That's a really good movie. I liked it, but I haven't seen Ben or the original Willard since the 70s, so I don't know why they haven't made it to video. And here we've got an interesting Stevie Wonder. This is an EP called A Something's Extra for the songs in the Key of Life on side 1, and it is a 33 and a third RPM, but it's a 7-inch, so technically it's still 45 to me. But it's got Saturn and Ebony Eyes on side 1, and on side 2 it's got All Day Sucker, which as you can see has some printing error there, not quite getting it all onto the label. And the second song being Easy Going Evening. So I'm already chit-chatting quite a bit, so we probably ain't going to get through this that quite in this episode, but we're going to come close. I won't have much to say about the country songs, so nice older RCA Victor sleeve there. Want to make sure I show you that, and it matches the vinyl in it, which is Harry Belafonte and Banana Boat, which you may know well from Beetlejuice. Day-o, day-o, daylight's coming and I want to go home. And the B-side of that being Star-O, Star-O, I don't know how that one goes. All right, next up, we've got a really funny title one. Not a song I know, but how can you not love a song called Big Fat Woman by Bobby Freeman? Now, that's definitely one that I would like to take time to walk over to the turntable and give it a spin. But if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, Do You Want to Dance being on the B side of that one. And it's interesting that I think it's Josie, but it almost looks like it says Oz, Jaws. All right, next up, we've got another interesting one on RV Records. This is side 2 that I'm showing you here, but it's Willie Cox doing the Heebie-Jeebies, which sounds like an interesting song, if nothing else. And I showed you that side first because this side is horribly looking. I Can't Help It is side 1, and it's not a song that I know either. So Wally Cox doing I Can't Help It, it's the A side, but the Heebie-Jeebies definitely sounds like a more interesting listen to me personally. All right, next we've got one more novelty, straight up novelty here. Jim Stafford, the old Spiders and Snakes guy, doing a song called Cow Patty from 1980. From the movie Any Which Way You Can by Clint Eastwood. So I know the movie, but I don't really recognize the song right off, not by the title, but I definitely love that film. And the B-side of this being a song called Texas Guitar Swing. So, yeah, I definitely know Any Which Way You Can and Every Which Way But Loose, the two movies that Clint Eastwood did with Clyde the orangutan. They're great, funny films, and I do like most of Clint Eastwood's stuff, so that's a nice 45 to have for that connection, if nothing else. Next up, we got Ben Colder doing Sing a Drinking Song. And I would be willing to bet, mind you, this is probably country and western. I don't know Ben Colder. I don't know the song. But it sure sounds like country and western song. You know what happens if you play a country and western 45 backwards, right? Your dog comes back to life, your wife comes home, and you sober up. All right, B-side being Easy Loving number 2. Hope you cut loose number 1 before you started in with number 2, or you might just end up with some woman problems there, Ben. I don't know the song, so there again. This one's a really interesting titled one, and it's Hank Williams Jr. doing the Ballad of the Moonshine. And when I flipped it over to look at the B-side, it really cracked me up because it's all for the love of sunshine. And of course, the first time I read it all for the love of moonshine. But it's not. It's for sunshine. And it says it's from the MGM album Kelly's Heroes, which, I don't know. Did it have anything to do with the film Kelly's Heroes? Because that was a great film. If you haven't seen Kelly's Heroes, that's definitely a film worth adding to your watch list. Here's an interesting sleeve. Soundstage number 7. A division of Monument Records. Monument Records I've heard of. Soundstage 7 I have not. But the vinyl inside it was Johnny Cash doing Sunday Morning Coming Down. And it says it's from the LP, the Johnny Cash TV show, which, I remember that a little bit. And it wasn't just all straight up country. He had some other bands on there that were more pop and maybe even slightly considered to be rock. But Johnny Cash is definitely one of the country artists that I have a high tolerance for. I like a lot of stuff that he did, and I'm not a country and western fan, so that says a lot for the man right there. But the B-side of this one being I'm Gonna Try to Be That Way. So there you go. There's a little Johnny Cash for you. And then we've got Charlie McCoy here doing the Orange Blossom Special. 1972. This is definitely a title that I recognize. I think it's got some train sounds in there, and it is on Monument Records, so that's interesting that the last sleeve was Soundstage 7, a division of Monument, and then this one's Monument. So maybe I ought to swap those sleeves, seeing how this is an ABC and doesn't match either one of those anyways. But getting back to the point here, we've got the Orange Blossom Special, and the B-side of that being a song called Hanging On. Hang on to that train and ride the Orange Blossom Special down that line. Alright, so here we've got an interesting sleeve. It's United Artists. If you can't figure out what all that design was, it's a U and an A. And then they just repeated it. It's solid, obviously. This side actually looks a little cleaner. And this isn't a sleeve that I've seen a lot of times, so I don't mind taking a moment there to document a good view of it. But we've got Gene Shepard doing Hey, Won't You Play Another Somebody Done Somebody Wrong song. And that's definitely country, but I don't hate it, so it's cool to have. Another Neon Night being on the B side of that. But yeah, that's a good 45 to have, actually, even if it is kind of country. And it's really clean, a really nice copy of it. So I'm happy to have that one in the collection, especially for what I paid for these boxes. It was a nominal amount of money to add them in. Oh, well, both of them's got some writing on that, but it's just a clean plain green sleeve anyways. But it's a Target. That's kind of an interesting logo there they got there. Target record for Shoji Tabuchi, San Antonio Rose, vocals in Japanese and English. Now this has got to be an interesting listen. 1972. It's a promo copy in mono, no less, so probably geared mostly for AM radio. But I wonder if this is that fiddle guy. I remember my mom dragging me off to a country and western concert, and they had a Japanese or Asian man playing fiddle that I thought was kind of odd and out of place, especially with him being dressed up like a cowboy. But the B-side of this is still mono, and it's a promo copy. But well, this was actually it's got a star on it. Yep. So I just went with the song that I knew, but I guess this would have been the A side. Sukiyaki. You tell me. Vocal in Japanese, even. So very, very interesting 45 here. Something I would definitely like to take a little time and put on the turntable and give that a listen, because I love Japanese stuff. I'm a huge Godzilla fan, love Ultraman, been watching a lot of Ultraman lately. In fact, I just watched Shin Ultraman for the first time yesterday. Shin Godzilla was a lot better, but if you have an interest, Shin Ultraman is worth your time. It starts out really strong. But anyways, getting back to the point here, we're probably going to wrap this episode up anyways. We'll have some Christmas stuff and a little bit more novelty things here to make a short 6th episode to wrap up the Red 10 Twin #1 before moving on to the second box. So I hope you enjoyed that. Have a wonderful day, and I hope you come back for the last part of this box.